Welcome back, Nerdiverse, to another episode of Masters of the Nerdiverse Lore, where we take a look at an object of lore, person, place, or thing, and let you know where it stands in the pantheon of its entire lore. That's a beautiful word. That's one of my $5 words I get to use every once in a
Pantheon.
while. Pantheon. Let's get it. I am, of course, Masters of the Nerdiverse Mike G. And back with me, as always, is the master of the Nerdiverse, the Jedi Counselor himself, the Elder God, Wash. What's going on, sir?
What is up, Elder God? Maybe a bit much. That seems like, well, I would say a lot of responsibility, but you know what? It seems like, whatever.
Doesn't seem
Well,
like that hard of a job, to be honest with you.
roll the dice. It's cool. It's fine.
Ah,
We'll
so
figure it out.
we'll figure it out together.
So
You know.
I am very excited to be here tonight, talking this Earth Realm. I think of a podcast here on in 2026 on Cinco de Mayo, but you were probably watching it afterwards. So I hope you had a hell of a good time.
Yeah,
Ah,
man. I had combat and tacos, bro, with a K.
ooh, there you go.
Tacos. You know what I
There you
mean?
go. I
I
like
had
it.
to I had to put in the blood code, the Genesis. I had to put in the Genesis blood code to get my tacos today, bro.
I mean, they have to be busy out where you were. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
there's gonna be a bit of a wait.
I'm not going nowhere tonight, bro. After we record, I'm staying my happy butt home, man. I already got my Coronas in the back, man. I'm about to watch
Oh,
Desperado,
oh,
starring
oh,
Antonio Banderas.
yeah, that's a great movie.
Oh yeah, this is epic. So I'm locked in, baby. Speaking of locking in, today we are talking about a object of lore that you chose, Nerdiverse. You voted on this. So we give ourselves some times to do the proper research. And today we're talking none other than the realm so nice they named the company after it. The Nether Realm, based off
Yeah.
Netherrealm Studios from the one and only Mortal Kombat. Wash, are you excited to talk about this tonight?
I am stoked and a tad bit intimidated. I know that who's playing Johnny Cage in the newest movie? What's his
Carl
name?
Urban. Carl
Yes, Carl
Urban.
Urban. Carl Urban recently said that his child told him one thing when he said he got the role of Johnny Cage: "Don't f it up." And that's kind of the responsibility that I feel with this moniker
Mhm,
of
mhm.
a podcast here is don't f it up. So I have been mired into Mortal Kombat lore these last few weeks, even as much so I'm going to do a quick shout out. Mike, I, it's stupid.
Mhm,
It's stupid. But
mhm.
dude, the Mortal Kombat app, it isn't bad, man.
Okay.
Like it's not bad. It's based on tap tap swipe, but it has a large character upgrading type of system and the
Mhm.
tower system. So, knowing that you play Snap, it is just as quickly because they save after every battle. So if you're in the middle of a tower, like you can just kind of save. So just a quick shout out, but yes, we have been mired in the
Mired.
Black Dragons. And I guess that's something I didn't know. Let's start with a FAQ.
Mhm.
Is that Black Dragon the actual Black Dragon from Kano's Black Dragons, or is that the mortal? Uh, they called it another dragon as well. There was another dragon reference,
Oh, I
but
think it's reversed. Black Dragons took that from the original Black Dragon from lore.
there we go. That's how
Yeah,
it's
that's how
coming
that
on.
works.
Okay, that's how it works. All right, I was confused throughout the entire time. I'm like, did they take this? I don't
They
know.
took
What's
it
going?
and they the Kano squad just like that's cool. Like we all said, right? That's really cool. Let's steal it, right?
It's ours
As they
now.
steal everything else, you know?
Yeah, it's ours.
Sounds about right.
It's mine. What?
That's mine.
Oh, it's what? No, it's mine.
It's fine. Copyright infringement. What are you gonna do? You gonna do sue Kano, bro? Good luck with that.
Good luck.
You just get a knife to the get a barrel roll right through your body.
doesn't get enough credit, but he is just one of the characters within the realm of Mortal Kombat, and I thought that another realm, the Nerdiverse picking it, was an extremely interesting choice. As when I think back on it, there are a lot of elements of Mortal Kombat, and the Nether Realm is just one.
Just one, we talk about that. Just to piggyback on what you mentioned earlier, I was very addicted to the Injustice version of that app. When
Okay.
Injustice 2 was out, they had a very similar app where, poke, poke, swipe up to do a combo, poke, poke down to do a combo. I was addicted to that. Swamp
Okay.
Thing all day. Had like $1,000 in
Oh,
Swamp Thing.
oh,
He was
wow.
completely decked out, bro. So it was good.
Wow. That's fun. That's
They
fun.
do a NetherRealm does a great job with their apps. Every time a new game comes out, they make a new app, and the apps are all getting better and better. But yeah, ready to talk about some Mortal Kombat, dude. Talk about, and we have Scorpion right up front because I think he's really the poster boy of not just Mortal Kombat, but also the NetherRealm. His story is steeped in the NetherRealm. There's even a whole cartoon called Scorpion's Revenge that I'm sure we'll touch on, where he figures out his way out of the Netherrealm. But we'll talk about more of that later. Are you ready to jump into some Mortal Kombat?
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun,
Yes.
dun, 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 dun. So let's just answer a really simple question that's not so simple. What's your elevator pitch, Wash? What is the Netherrealm?
I'm going to give a kind of an all-encompassing pitch. So it's going to be probably two or three sentences. The
Got it.
Nether Realm is a space that is hell adjacent, is what I started calling it within the last 24 hours. It's hell adjacent, and it is like a weighting scale to be used in whomever can gather favor with its fashion. Like the Nether Realm is a bit complex, man, simply because the simplicity of the Nether Realm, oh, it's hell adjacent. Yeah, it's hell, man. It's torture. Not a lot going on there. Not the place you really want to hang out. Just nothing really good is happening. But it is used in such a critical manner in so many different ways that it becomes like the sword and the gun. So I brought a
Mm,
gun to a sword fight, and my gun is the Netherrealm.
yeah, very good. Yeah, it is absolutely hell adjacent, right? It's one of my favorite hell realms. Like Hellraiser has the Leviathan, the um Event Horizon. Hell is only a word,
Mm,
right? What you experience here is beyond your concept of
yeah.
hell. And of course, another realm is the Mortal Kombat universe's version of that. But it's so simple, but it's so complex. I like to kindle this to like Norse mythology almost, where you have your separate realms that do their respective things. Another realm is kind of like the garbage man in a weird way. Once everyone's done their stupid stuff in their respective realm, you have, like you said, you have to answer to the nether realm, and it will weigh you and decide the destiny. And how it really tells you how good of a time you're gonna have down here.
It really tells you if you're going to be miserable or not, but I can guarantee you no one's having a good time. And what I think is interesting is you have Scorpion on the cover, but there are some interesting characters out of the Nether Realm that you know it doesn't necessarily, it's not an all for or nothing type of deal. In fact,
Mhm.
as I got further into it, I really kind of wanted to go back and explore the Spawn Hell Realm because I was
Yeah.
trying to. They're very similar in their aspect of worker mentality, right?
Yeah.
Like
You have something to
everybody's
do
got a
down here.
job.
Yeah, you got something to do down here.
Like,
You're not
yeah,
just sitting
yeah.
around, bro.
No. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna get into really all of that, but I think that's a really simple yet complex kind of wrap your head around what is going on here. Yeah, everybody has a job to do. There are rulers, there are servants, there are custodians of hell, and Mortal Kombat gives you a little bit of everything. And we're gonna get more into the characters of them, but really, I see it as like a garbage disposal, right? It's like depending on how you were in life depends on your role in the Netherrealm. Where are you going afterwards? There's even realms for that. So I think that's a really good segue into our next topic, which is its role in the six realms. So I wanted to break this down. That much like Norse mythology, there are six realms in the Mortal Kombat universe. There's Earthrealm, which we're on. Hi, we're Earthrealmians. There's
Maybe sometimes,
sometimes it
maybe,
feels like
maybe.
out. Sometimes it feels like other Netherrealm. You know what I mean? Sometimes it feels like Netherrealm. Uh, there's Adenia, which is kind of it's kind of like happy. It's almost like Earthrealm, Adenia, and Outworld are really like the three little pigs. This porridge is just right, it's Earthrealm. This porridge is too hot, it's Outworld. This purge is just a little too cold, it's Athenia. That's kind of like the peaceful, kind of like where Katana is from and her people. There's Order Realm, which I would equate to heaven. It's the closest thing you can kind of think of what Order Realm is. Chaos Realm, where people just go crazy and just let the bodies hit the floor. That's where a lot of the Nether Realm comes from. It's Chaos Realm fuels a lot of Nether Realm because them guys,
Correct. Yes.
they just do whatever, dog. Let the bodies hit the floor, and that's just that they play that song over and over, 24 hours a day in Chaos Realm. That's how they get down. And of course, Nether Realm. Um, Wash, what are your thoughts on how this is structured, and what do you think is the general role of NetherRealm in this kind of dichotomy?
God, you're killing me with that first question because the first question really gets to the heart of the end of the last question, and so
Yeah.
I'm not going to completely spoil my answer to that quite yet.
Okay. Yeah.
But what I'm going to say is, within these six realms, I think the six realms are very, very diverse in style and appearance. They all seem to have a purpose, with the exception of Netherrealm. Netherrealm
Mm.
is the one that that's the holding cell. So
Mm.
it's y- your fate is not necessarily destined here, but once you've touched us, no matter where you go in those other realms, yeah, we'll follow you. We'll follow you. So
Hmm.
I found in my exploration the Nether Realm to be really, and that's one of the reasons Scorpion's fascinating, and I'm sure we're going to get into the characters, Quan Chi, Noob, is because they are so one one focused in their direction once they pick the direction. And
Yeah.
that's the nether realm, it's like the nether realm will follow outworld, the nether realm will follow the chaos realm, the nether realm will deal with the earth realm, but like it's going to be very focused on whatever the goal is, the priority is. It's not just scheming. And that's what's fascinating because these other worlds are out there doing things. There's a political structure, there's
Hmm.
kings, queens, bow, rules to follow. The nether realms, like, who's in charge? Well, one guy was in charge.
We got him up out of here.
He ain't in charge anymore.
No
Who's in
more.
charge now? Um,
Shinnok. Oh no, 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 I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was 2 weeks
yeah,
ago. And
yeah,
Shinnok's out now too.
he's gone.
Who's in charge now? I think Luke Kang in Katana. Wait, what? So it's like
And
it,
big
it's a
realm.
revolving
There's
door.
and there's power in this realm. So it's
Oh yeah.
it's a power vacuum. I've been trying to discuss this realm in my head for weeks now because it's so abstract in its nature. Outworld is outworld. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Chaos realm, let the bodies hit
I
the
just hit the
floor.
floor. Let the
Nev-
bot.
Netherrealm, you like knock in and it's the wild house party, and you're like, whose house is this? No one
Your
knows.
house.
You're like,
What?
oh.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yes. Yeah, NetherRealm is a funny one in the mix. It's really it's not the odd duck out, but it kinda is. Because NetherRealm, like you mentioned it's just power. Power exudes from this place because there's powers and souls. Shoot, Quan Chi's entire thing is like power, 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 NetherRealm power. How do I use this realm
what?
to
Yeah.
fuel my,
Who
like you said, my scheming?
whose power? You know what I mean? Because
Whose power?
Quan Chi isn't exactly like out there like, yeah, I'm gonna take over Earthrealm. He's like, I'll work for somebody.
Yeah,
Who
can we be in NetherRealm though? I'll help you. Sure. What's your name? Shao Kahn. Fine. I don't care. What's your
okay.
name? Shinnok. Fine. I don't care.
Shang
Deadly
Tsung.
Shang Tsung.
Fine. I don't care.
I don't care. The Deadly Alliance, bro. We'll talk about it. But yeah, I like its role because, like you said, every role has a function, right? It's like, it kind of all of their functions fuel back to NetherRealm, right? It's almost like the tip of the funnel, where it's like whatever you do in Outworld, you're gonna end up paying the toll in NetherRealm one way or another. Even in Order Realm, where they don't necessarily gain any influence in NetherRealm, there's a lot of Order Realm cats who find their way, listening to speed metal in NetherRealm and not having a good time. So its role in the six realms really feeds into its importance in its role and its importance in the lore. So I guess we'll touch a bit more on that later. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't see the lineup or the slides, so I'll just jump in. Like when I think about Mortal Kombat, like the Netherrealm doesn't have a champion.
Not
Like when Mortal
necessarily,
Kombat
no.
comes, it's like there's no one fighting for the Netherrealm. It's
Nobody
like,
wants NetherRealm but the three guys.
did you upset the wrong person so that Netherrealm is coming to look for you in Mortal Kombat? That is the question. Because Netherrealm's like, yeah, we know where they're at
It's
now.
very Hellraiser vibes. Wait, you got out of
Ooh,
NetherRealm? We're gonna send our Cinnabites after you, and you're coming back to the house.
yeah,
Why are you gone?
yeah.
All right, this is what we're sending after you. Everybody, NetherRealm almost reminds me of like Dune. It reminds me of like Arrakis. Everyone wants to use this energy for their own means, but they don't realize that the Netherrealm is just a living, breathing creature like these other realms, and it will bite you back. And a lot of our heroes and villains have felt the sting of NetherRealm in their
Absolutely.
actions. Even some elder gods that we won't name, Raiden. But we're not going to talk about him too
Right.
much. Raiden, we're not going to talk about him because his ass was in there just as much as anybody else. You would think
Super
he'd be above it.
complicated character. As we get into like Mortal Kombat lore and me being the Star Wars head, like there is so much lore here. And the problem is that I don't want to say that it's not that it's not developed, but it could be expanded on
Yeah.
in so many different ways, and yet we come back to like Raiden, and it's like,
Mortal Kombat has the problem of not getting enough attention.
yeah,
Like, it has plenty of attention, but it still doesn't have enough attention,
yeah,
right? Like you've been reading the books and diving into those, but you've told me yourself like those aren't really that meaty. You're not getting
yeah.
a lot of meat on that bone. Where you can write a whole book about Chaosrealm. It'd be interesting as hell. No pun intended. So I think Mortal Kombat has room to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think about a day in a life, like the day in a life of the Netherrealm, it's like we don't necessarily know what's going on from 9 to 5. We know what's going on from like 5 to 9, but not from 9 to 5.
You know what's going on at nighttime? Ain't nothing nice
Yeah,
going on at
bro.
nighttime, dog. Freaking hell. Speaking of things that are going on, I want to talk about the effects of NetherRealm. And this is something I was doing my research on that I thought was really interesting. Is that NetherRealm is almost like an infection, right? And the second you get there, it starts to seep into your DNA. And no matter who you are, the longer you stay in NetherRealm, it starts to change you. It starts to adjust you to the realm, both mentally and physically. You start to crack a little bit. You start to turn into a revenant. If you're super powerful, you're lucky that you'll maintain your consciousness, even though you're becoming a bad guy, right? That's kind of what happened to Scorpion. He died. He was killed by Sub Zero, sent to Netherrealm, and was there for too long and became what we know of him today, the Skeleton Man. Skeleton, get over here, dude. Um, I wanted your thoughts on this effect in like media, where it's like the second you walk in, you're already infected. Like you said, you can't enter Netherrealm without it following you. And this is the way one of the ways it does it. It kind of it pollutes you in a way. It's
And
interesting.
this is one of the things I kind of wish was explored a tad bit more in Netherrealm lore, because a lot of Netherrealm lore is focused on the games primarily, at least that I found. Michael, you were out there doing your thing in Scorpion, and it's like, when you talk about why was Noob Bihan
Hmm.
so easily corrupted to become just full on
I can answer
evil.
that. I
Go
can answer
on.
that.
Go on.
Because Scorpion in itself was a decent human being before Sub Zero's clan came and just raped and pillaged his village, right? Bihan was a jerk from the jump. Bihan original Sub Zero was not great people. He relished in it. You know what I mean? His brother,
Uh-huh.
not so much. But original Sub Zero, man, he was like, "We're home, baby. Daddy's home." The second he showed up, he was like, "Turn me into what? Fine, I'm cool. Quan Chi, do your thing."
And so that becomes a very interesting point in how the Netherrealm can corrupt those who want to be corrupted even more. To what end? We've all played the games. Is Noob necessarily the most powerful character in the game?
Not really.
No.
He's
He is
powerful as
interesting.
hell.
He's powerful. He can mess you up, but he's not necessarily the most powerful. Meanwhile, Scorpion, who, even when you look at the Scorpion who, and I like to call him OG Scorpion, who, remained Scorpion, and he's Skeleton Man now.
Yeah.
Even he still keeps a tad bit of his humanity when doing his job. Whereas
Hmm.
Noob's like, nah, bro, I'm here.
Let's do
Let's
it.
go. And so I find the effects of the Netherrealm, especially look at Quan Chi and Shinnok
Hmm.
themselves. Quan Chi was he was able to control it. He doesn't
Yeah.
get enough credit for being able to just
He's one of the
control and manipulate
secretly more
like
powerful dudes. Yeah.
Shinnok, like that dude was all types of messed up, all types of corrupted,
He
all
got
from
turned
the
out.
realm,
Yeah, Quan
bro.
Chi. I mean,
Like,
Shinnok got so turned out by the Netherrealm.
dude,
He was an elder god, bro. He was like one of the super elder gods. Went down there for a little while. His ass started turning pink, bro. Like he got super corrupted. I don't know. Maybe he was a jerk too. I think that's why. Like the more evil you are, the faster that corruption can set
faster
in.
it works.
You know what it reminds me of? Dead Space. You ever played
Hmm.
Dead Space? One of
Only
the big,
one,
yeah, it's
two.
like there's a marker that's on Mars or something, and it sends off like a frequency. And anybody who's within the frequency of that marker, guess what? You're turning into a necromorph, whether you want to or not. The only
Damn.
question is, how fast do you turn? Like our main character, he's infected the whole time, but he's a decent dude. So it takes him a while for his insanity to set. But if you're a jerk, you're an a-hole, you can turn immediately and start going through the transformation. So it makes me think of that. Like Netherrealm picks and chooses its champions. You know what I mean?
And then the one lady who I'm just starting to get,
Sindel? Oh,
Ashra,
Astra.
Ashra,
Yeah. She's
Ashra was
interesting.
able to fight her way out
We talk
to,
about that.
like, you know what? We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that. Speaking of things we want to talk about, yeah, we're going to talk dwellers of the nether realm. We're going to talk about the
Yeah.
people, the key players. I specifically put the Deadly Alliance because that's one of the most interesting points in Mortal Kombat history of Shinnok and pretty much Sang Shung teaming up to overthrow everything and damn near getting it done. A lot of stuff happened here. So I want to talk about the major players. We kind of been talking about it already. The Shinnoks, the Scorpions. But who would you think are the big players in that come from the Netherrealm, that live in the Netherrealm?
I got to tell you, when I found out, and full spoilers here, I
Yeah, I
guess when I
mean,
found,
this
all
is the
right,
lore.
is
Yeah.
the lower. When I found out like Shinnok was Kronika's kid, I was like,
Fair
somebody
enough.
should have checked that.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's not the person you want in charge of the nether realm if something goes wrong. Because his mom's not going to be happy, right? And so I find Shinnok not to necessarily be like the biggest danger, but he was the most insane. He was the
Yeah.
most insane. He's like, I am an elder god. Damn you other elder gods. I am now the god. And it's
I'm
like, have you
the
lost your
god.
yo, bro, your mom's over there. I don't
I
care.
don't care.
And so I find how they banish him. I find how his manipulation of Shao Kahn in the
Yeah.
back scenes, that's Star Wars stuff, man. That's fantastic. Dark side manipulation, years. I love a good scheme. So
Hmm.
parts of it, big fan. Shang Tsung, not the biggest fan, man. Like that dude is
No, no
kind of
love.
a oh man.
He's
Like
he's skeezy, dog. He's kind of skeezy, man. He's a
when you
worm.
put him in the lab together, and it's just like, what are you doing, man? He's like, haha, I'm gonna have
Shang,
lunch, and then
it, it's funny because it's all about escalation, right? Shang
mhm.
Tsung is the big bad of Mortal Kombat 1. Then you realize Shao Kahn, oh no, the bigger bad of Mortal Kombat 2. Oh no, Shinnok, the bigger bad of Mortal Kombat 3. The freaking dragon god. I forget that cat's name, the Kami Dogu and all that stupid stuff in Mortal Kombat 4. It just keeps escalating. You forget that these little guys actually are the reason why all this is happening. You know what I mean? The reason why these events take place, and it's really, Quan Chi and his soul NATO that he was creating from the Nether Realm to gain the power he needed to kind of overthrow and break the cycle. Because mind you, this is a living cycle that's going on. Every so and so years, Mortal Kombat happens for the fate of the realms, and whoop de whoop de whoop. Quan Chi wanted to kind of just stop all that because he's from Netherrealm. He's always going to get the short end of the stick, no
Dude.
matter who wins. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, nah, forget that. Just I'll team up with anybody. It doesn't matter.
That's because he's not like thinking expansion, he's not
Nah.
thinking expansion. Had he been thinking expansion, he might have been able to get something done. In fact, Liu Kang the Katana became what I would have considered the closest of able to do it. But once they even hooked up, they fell into their like, no, we're cool,
I,
man.
I guess,
We're gonna be
yeah.
doing some nesting in the nether realm. Don't worry about it. We're taking care of the yard and whatnot.
Yeah,
It's cool. Who
we're making
cares?
a day room over there. It's gonna be beautiful. You guys have to come over when it's ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, and because of the end of Mortal Kombat 9, where Sindel killed half the cast. So half of the cast, good or bad, are now in Netherrealm. you know, Kano and Johnny Cage, and like Jax, they're all in hell chilling with Liu Kang and Katana. So in the beginning of Mortal Kombat 10, NetherRealm's a big, big deal because how are we gonna fix this, right? How are we bringing these characters back? Because they're all evil now. There's only a handful of Mortal Kombat characters that are technically still good, at this point of the timeline. With
Corrupted.
corrupted, we'll call it. They
Corrupted.
were they were revenants, is what they were called, bro.
Revenants. Yes. Corrupted. Yeah.
Bro, speaking of that, and I know we're really moving through this lore, but that's okay. I think we're making all of our points here. Um, I want to talk about, can you leave the Nether Realm? You know what I mean? This is something we were talking about with Ashura. You know what I mean? The little demon who could. You
Hmm.
want to talk more about her and her kind of reasoning for wanting to leave a Nether Realm? Because you think if she's a demon already born in Netherrealm, why would you want to leave? It's probably rules if you're from there.
but like you can be better than where you were born, Mike. You know
True.
what I mean? You can be better than your surroundings if you put your mind to it. And Ashura, that's her name. I was
I
thinking
believe
of
so.
Akira from
Sure.
Street Fighter. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Yeah, Shura. I think that she had a good arc, with the exception with the fact of just her willingness to step out and go, you know what? I'm better than what is around me, and so thus I must forge my way into, you know, or out of the nether realm. Overall, again, the nether realm follows you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What was
Yeah.
that? Mortal Kombat 1? We haven't
Hmm.
seen the next Mortal Kombat 2. We don't know. And I guarantee you, you know
Has there
what the
been
nether
another
realm's going to
tournament?
be. You know,
There's only
hey,
been
how you
one, right?
doing? Yeah, it's like, nice to see you. Hi, freaking Cenobites again. So she was successful in it. I think that one of the more interesting figures is Scorpion when we
Yeah.
talk about it, is just simply his reasonings for, I mean, not leaving, staying. It's really hard to, depending on the timeline, to discuss what he's doing, but he seems to have an allegiance to the nether realm,
Hmm.
irregardless.
That Scorpion, because it gets a little convoluted when you get into Mortal Kombat 1 and you have the Liu Kang timeline and you have the Chronica timeline and how he was manipulated by Quan Chi to come back and take revenge on the clan of Sub-Zero here, even though Sub-Zero's brother was super good and the clan was super good. And mind you, it's going back to Bihan being a complete jerk and kind of putting a bad rap on that entire bloodline. That Scorpion said it's up and it's stuck forever. I'm a wrathful spirit. I'm wrathful spirit. I'm going to destroy your whole bloodline. Like, chill, man. I don't even know who you are, bro. I'm Scorpion, Doug. Oh, okay. You know, and him leaving by black magic seems the only way you can really get out of Netherrealm is by some kind of back alley deal you're making with somebody. There's no there's no walking out of it once you're in there. Once you leave, going back to our Hellraiser analogy, the Cenobites are on you. You know what I mean? Someone's coming back to bring you back. And that's kind of like the fate of all the villains. They've all been sent back to Netherrealm. Even the corrupted Shinnok in Mortal Kombat X was overwhelmed by the power of that place, by the power of the Kamidogu.
I mean, technically, I think Shinnok is still alive.
He can't die.
Like, he can't die, so I think he's somewhere within the nether realm. I was trying to follow it, but I'm not exactly sure. With, like, after his head was cut off and they had him sitting there on
Yeah,
the,
an evil Raiden was around when
like, it,
Raiden.
yeah, yeah, like, I think he's still alive because dude can't die. So, like,
He's a head in a bag somewhere in the trophy room. No, no, no. He was power. Remember, there was a stage in Mortal Kombat 1 where Shinnok's head was powering the fortress. You just see his head screaming and stuff like, "Oh, please, someone kill me!" You know what I'm talking about? I think
yes.
that there's a stage in Mortal Kombat 1 where his head is powering some kind of like room. And like that is effed up. That is probably the most messed up fate in Mortal Kombat history. Let the man
So,
die.
it- considering that type of thing, it's like, can you leave the nether realm? Nah, man, I
Not
don't.
really.
I,
No
I,
one's
I think it's one of those things, and that makes it really unique. Actually, I hadn't really considered that in my research, but now that we're sitting here talking about it, the fact that it once it touches you, it has touched you, is interesting. I guess Raiden would be the
even even he was corrupted by it.
but as you look at like the new timeline with Mortal Kombat 1, so now we
Mm.
have a new Raiden per se, and it's like he's not still corrupted
That
because that Raiden is gone. So maybe,
maybe Mortal Kombat 1 throws a monkey wrench in a lot of things
yeah,
because
man.
it's like
What were you
even
gonna do though?
what are you gonna do? I mean,
What
you
were you
can't. What
gonna
do you have? Remember, learn the lessons of Street Fighter 3. You never get rid of the original cast. People want to play as Sub Zero and Scorpion by hook or by crook every single time. Um, it kind of throws a monkey wrench because you can even say that about the combat cast who were turned into wraiths and then brought back to life. I forget how that happened. It was like a Mortal Kombat 11, where they brought everybody. It was time travel, wasn't it? Where there were two sets of everybody. There was the time
Yeah,
travel back in the day versions of these characters, and
yeah.
then there was
Chronica
the current.
made like two of them. Yeah, she brought because she stopped the first combat in the middle of it, and then she
Mhm.
transported them in the middle of the combat.
Yeah, so it was like stupid. It was like there was a Wraith current timeline Jax running around with a normal Jax, and
Yeah.
a Wraith Liu Kang fighting the normal Liu Kang. It was just like a big hot mess, and everybody would try to get the power. She would try to steal the power from the Netherrealm to fuel her time bomb and just start it all over. That's what she wanted to do, if I remember that plot correctly.
Yep.
And Liu Kang had to defeat her and literally become uppercase god for this entire universe. And that's where one comes from. But even he can only do so much. So there still had to be another realm, right?
Yeah.
I forget who he put in charge of it though, because the main characters of the Deadly Alliance weren't really that important in his universe. He made them like paupers and street vendors, and he didn't make them. All the villains were had really lower
Yeah.
roles
No.
in his
No,
universe.
that's what I was saying. And Luke Kane's Netherrealm. No, man, it was just him and Katana, and they were like,
No, I'm talking about the Mortal Kombat One universe.
oh,
N- not the Revenant Liu Kang, Revenant Katana, Cuddle
okay.
Puddle, Love Nest in Mortal Kombat X, where they were running their own army and Kung Lao was down there with them, and they were kind of just like you said, they were happy. They weren't really going for conquest. They were just kind of like, yeah, we're running this thing and we're doing a pretty good job. You know what I mean?
In Mortal Kombat 1, as far as it goes, like it hasn't been necessarily brought up quite yet, except for Ashura coming in from the Netherrealm and doing her thing. But I don't necessarily remember what Liu Kang did with them specifically. Not
I
at
don't
the end of the game, though.
I don't remember. I only beat it the one time, bro. Like Mortal Kombat one, the new one, and I
Yeah.
remember, because I didn't like. Truth, we're in the middle of a lore, but I didn't really much like that story. I preferred the X story, and even the 11 story. Um, but going back to if you can leave the Netherrealm, I think the general answer is not really. Everybody returns back at some point. It takes literally God levels of intervention to reset your timeline so that you never found yourself in there in the first place. It's the only way to get around it, for
It's
real.
it, it's like a soul powered, like everything's powered by this soul factory, man. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And it's once you have the nuclear codes,
you run the world,
you get to
right?
run it. That said, it's not an end all be all solution, which is kind of sad. It's like how do y'all not get this right, even though you have so much power because Quan Chi is generally in charge, and he's just like, okay,
Okay, this is
what'd you say?
fine.
All right.
Okay, Shao Kahn. He's such an interesting character, Quan Chi,
Quan
because
Chi's a very
he has
interesting question.
he has really no alliances. He doesn't have any real aspirations. He's just kind of like, I just want to. I'm doing it for the culture. You know what I'm saying? Most of the stuff he does is for the culture, though. He's not really, even in the Deadly Alliance, he was mostly doing it just to bother the apple
No
cart.
one
You know
likes
what I mean?
him. Like he's not anyone's friend or buddy. Like Shao Kahn's all over him, Shang-Chi's all over him, freaking Shinnok's like, yeah, whatever. I could care less, really. And so it's really once he gets the Revenants, it's like, okay, the Revenants kind of like him, but even even
Even
they
they tolerate him a
even
little
they're
bit.
like, Luke Cage, what'd you say? All right.
Not to mention like the royal family, like Melina and Katana
Oh,
and Shao Kahn. They can't stand the guy. Why is he in the room with us? Who invited Quan Chi to the cookout, Doug? I don't know. He came through in a teleporter, and now we are dealing with him
do
in meat.
I do we know Quan Chi's story? I don't.
I heard he is a Oni from Netherrealm who learned the dark magics and learned how to hone his powers and became what we know of him today. But there is no solid like lore on Quan Chi. It's just that he may have been a lowly Oni in hell and kind of found a book. Encyclopedia Britannica and became what he is today.
And that's one of the reasons I say that like there's so much that can be expanded on is because it's like what is going on? Where was he? Was he working as a janitor or something and he just picked up the
I
book in the break
know
room?
they
So
explain it in the timeline somewhere. Like,
I was trying because I remember the reason I just thought about it now is because it's one of the things I meant to specifically look up because I was waiting for it to naturally, organically come to me. And nah, Quan Chi's always just a dude in the other corner of the room who's like, go do this.
he's doing this, though. Quan Chi's always a dude in the back doing this. He's like, who is that guy? You probably want to keep
Yeah.
an eye on him. Yeah, he's always turning his mustache. Somebody keep an eye on him, please. No, he smells. He smells like brimstone and
Mm.
meat. Nobody wants to chill with this guy. Smells like brimstone and meat. Where's his?
he kind of reminds me now that you think of it of the of Death from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures
Yeah,
where
like he's just a
Bogus
bummer, dog. He's trying to chill with this guy. Nobody, even the villains don't mess with him like that, man. Go back home, bro. Let's talk about Netherrealm and the importance of the lore. This is something we touched on very early in the episode, but watch, now is the time. Give us your thoughts on the Netherrealm's importance to all of Mortal Kombat.
Okay. Here's the thing about it. It's that Mortal Kombat is based on Mortal Kombat. It is a battle, strangely enough, that Raiden took to the Elder Gods and was like, "Yeah, I want to do this to protect Earthrealm." And they're like,
All right,
sounds good, Raiden. Whatever you
fine.
say, buddy. And
Yeah,
so this is what they decided on. And what I guess what bothers me is that NetherRealm doesn't have a champion. It it bothers me to no end that NetherRealm, with all the power and all the souls and the factory and the hourglass underneath that powers everything, which is what they had to take over. Didn't they have to use like the Sea of Soul or the Dead Man to cross it as well? Like you couldn't even cross the thing without a freaking boat. And this is make believe, you know? I mean,
you
it's like,
can do
no,
whatever you want, man.
you do
Yeah.
whatever you want. And so them not having a champion, it's a weird crux in this world because it's called Mortal freaking Kombat. It's about the protection of the realms, or I suppose the conquest of the realms. And so Netherrealm to me, I think I think we need a game called Mortal Kombat Netherrealm,
Netherrealm.
where Netherrealm gets its own identity, its own political structure, like we get to see Shinnok picking his champion and sending him there in Mortal Kombat 2, Liu Kang X's timeline. This is where when we get to our final scores, and I've been thinking about this, I'm still having some issues, especially with our conversation today. I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa, it's interesting. So its importance to the lore, um, I think it's super important because you need it as the tipping scale, right?
yeah.
It, it
It's
tips in one way or the other, if it's there or if it's not there. That said, it doesn't do much on its own. It's you
hmm,
can go open the door, but you're like, nah, I don't want to know what's in
yeah, yeah. What's coming from under that door? I ain't opening that door. Yeah. Quan Chi is in there. He's just in there scheming, dog. I don't want to know what he's talking about. Uh the problem with Mortal Kombat is that all of Mortal Kombat for the last 30 years is fixated on one space and time, and that's the tournament, right? We've never moved past the tournament. We've gone to the hilt of the tournament. We've gone to the Deadly Alliance era. We've gone to the Armageddon era. But it all circles around one fixed time frame, right? Mortal Kombat happens. We win. Shao Kahn says hail to the Nah. Mortal Kombat 2 happens, and so on and so forth. But there's no growth past this event. So much so that in Mortal Kombat 9, We go back to the beginning because we can't go back to the future, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. So we go all the way back to the beginning of the tournament to try to fix the issues of what came from the tournament. So when it comes to Netherrealm as a concept, there's no time to really sit and like rest in it. One of your biggest gripes is there is no champion. That's because nobody's fighting to take over Netherrealm. Nobody gives a shit, dude. Like nobody care.
Nah,
Like
we're
it's,
good.
you ever wonder why Antarctica has no kind of political or like alliance? Because nobody wants to live there, dog. Like y'all got it, man. Whoever's there, y'all can have it. Like Netherrealm is the Antarctica of the realms, bro.
That's
Like
hilarious.
so, why would they need a champion? What are they fighting over?
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Do you think we have an occupation in Netherrealm? They get our boys out of there. In 3 months, they're all going to be ghoul monsters, and they're not going to be ours anyway. You know what I mean? So, and even later on, when you get the changes in power that fluctuate so much in Netherrealm, from what was the original guy in Netherrealm? It wasn't Quan
Shinnok?
Chi? It was Shinnok ran it forever, right? Until he stopped
Yeah,
running it,
yeah.
and then Liu Kang started running it, and then Shinnok tried to take it over again, and it's whatever. It's like they had no need for a champion. I mean, it was just kind of like this ethereal thing. Like there was no structure, like you said. In the other realms,
But
there's kings
it
and queens
serves
and
such a
politics.
purpose. Like it's a
Yeah,
soul factory, and no one's in charge of this thing. And again, it has me looking at the elder gods, and it's like, and
it's
we get into the Titans with Mortal Kombat 1, which is
one.
great. So it's like, there's something higher than the Elder Gods. It's like good because this group of people aren't very good at their jobs. And we open by saying everyone has a job in Mortal Kombat.
And
Everyone
I
has a
think
job.
this, I think NetherRealm has the ultimate job. It is the battery of
Yeah,
the
th-
entire
thank
system.
you. Thank you.
NetherRealm is the battery of the system. A battery needs to do nothing but provide energy, right? Nobody goes into the center of a battery to see how it works. You know what I mean? No one's trying to run the battery. It is the spirit and the soul, no pun intended, of the entire thing. It's the nucleus of everything around it, and everything ties back to it, whether it wants to or not. And all the other governing leaders and warlords and elder guys, they're just like, we don't care. As long as it keeps doing its thing and you guys don't bother it, we won't have any trouble. It's like the movie The Core. You mess with the molten lava center of the earth, you're causing problems for everybody. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people's sentiment to the nether realm. Let them war within each other. We don't know what's going on in there. We don't care to know. That's why Ray didn't even bother talking about it until he had to. Until you had your Quan Chis and Ultimate Alliances and Soul NATOs and Soul Batteries and all that stupid stuff they were trying to make. It's like, will you guys just leave NetherRealm alone to its own devices and just let us do our Mortal Kombats? No, I'm Quan Chi and I'm here to throw a monkey wrench in the entire organization. And that's where you get that's where NetherRealm starts to have actual politics because it's just Arrakis. Spice must flow. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We all
Yeah.
just want the energy
Yeah.
and we're jacking everything up to try to get it. And we don't realize that this place is hostile. And just by being there infects you. It's very much doomed if you're thinking about it. Because you can't go on Arrakis without getting the whole blue eye thing if you stay long enough. Same thing. You stay in the Netherrealm long enough, you're gonna become a wraith. You're gonna become a revenant. You're gonna become something stupid. And now you got to deal with that. And there's no turning back from that. You're screwed. You might as well just chill
No.
out, you know? That's
Uh,
my
uh,
thoughts about it.
And they literally did say "Soul NATO," which I thought was just hilarious. It
Yeah, it's the
was like a
dumbest part
soul.
of all of it.
Yeah, it's like it's circling up. You're like, did they really just say that? That's that's funny. No, but you make some very, very valid points about how no one wants the Netherrealm, and that actually makes me feel a little bit better about it because. You're right. I don't want the Netherrealm. I don't necessarily want to be in charge of the people in the Netherrealm.
No, I
That
don't want to bother
seems
with
like
them.
that's like a harder job.
Y'all got it, dog. Whatever y'all doing, keep it up. Keep it up. Whatever y'all doing.
um, so I
Jesus.
guess that's what makes Scorpion very interesting is, when we talk about importance to the lore, like Scorpion's not Scorpion without without the
Netherrealm.
Netherrealm?
Yeah.
And is Mortal Kombat without Scorpion? And it's like, oh well,
No.
that's a different question that you're
That's
asking, but it's
yeah.
still important.
We haven't
So,
even talked about Ermac, bro, who was just the living embodiment of the Netherrealm. Ermac, the
Ermac.
red ninja, where his
Red
where
Ninja, Ermac, yes.
yeah, where Quan Chi literally just took a bunch of souls from the Netherrealm and squished them together, and here comes Ermac, bro, and he's just
Yeah.
an embodiment of a. He's Legion. He is one of many. He kills, and anybody who dies gets added to his soul collection that's supposed to be going to Netherrealm. When it goes into him, and he gets more powerful, the more he kills people. The more he takes people out. He's a very interesting representative of Netherrealm.
He did not get enough screen time because when
No,
he first popped on and he's like, I am Legion, and it's like, damn, this thing
bro.
is awesome, bro. And he did
Everybody
not get,
loves
he got
everybody loves
freaking
Ermac, bro. He's fucking sick, dude.
That's
Ermac is real.
awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad you brought him up. Um, but when we talk about Scorpion's ability to kind of come and go from the nether realm and do as he pleases stems from, first, no one wanting to deal with Scorpion, and
Nah,
second, no one caring enough to be like, who's going to be the guard at the gate to stop Scorpion from leaving nether realm? And it's like, not
nah.
me.
Well, that's okay because unless your name is Sub Zero, you really don't have to care. You know, Raiden doesn't care about Sub Zero in the big
It look,
scheme of things. Raiden doesn't care about Scorpion in this giant scheme of things because Scorpion, like you said, Scorpion's pretty single lane focused. I hate Sub Zero. That's all I'm focusing on. You guys can kiss my butt. Fine, dude. Do your thing. We're gonna save Earthrealm while you deal with that.
but he's a needed character
Oh
because of
yeah.
the nether realm, and so he's kind of like, it's kind of like he's the neighbor that everyone has to keep bothering, and it's like, yeah, we're trying to get over there, can we come through your yard?
No,
And he's like, nah,
no.
bro, I don't
Especially
want you in my yard.
if your name is Sub Zero, I will kill you on sight. He himself is kind of the gatekeeper, right? Because
But
he
not the
gets more.
champion. And
No,
that's what was about, and that's
there
what
is no
bothered.
champion. They
No
don't need a
champion.
champion of what? What are you protecting? I'm the, what I'm saying? It's like that one dog that's guarding its bowl that's empty. What are you doing? You're just programmed to guard something that no one cares about. It gives no particular, like, merit to own. Just let it be. No,
I'm
It's like
pitching
this.
NetherRealm Studios right now on MOTN Lore podcast. MO we need Mortal Kombat NetherRealm,
Here, I got you.
where Chaos World has decided to invade NetherRealm to take over.
Yep.
And thus
They
NetherRealm is like, you
represent
know
the
what?
vote. That they represent the
We are going to send champions to defend ourselves.
all you got to do is make it a Souls like game. Make it a Souls like. You know,
Ooh.
yeah, story driven lore. You don't have to be
I like it.
Scorpion. You can be anybody. Make your
Anybody.
own Revenant and make them a champion. You're the champion of Netherrealm because they have to defend themselves from stupid ass Chaos Realm, who will fight anything and everyone because they're dumb that way, and they just that's how they get down.
I absolutely love it. Oh, also, who was the big dude with the girl on her back? Those two
Farah
crazies.
Tor.
Yes,
Were they from Netherrealm or were
they're
they
also
from
NetherRealm.
Outworld? I thought
Uh,
they were from Outworld.
oh, you're right. They are Outworld. You're
I
right. They are Outworld.
Netherrealm and Outworld are almost like this. Netherrealm, Outworld is more like post-apocalyptic Athenia. You know what I'm saying? It's just a crappy place to live.
Yeah,
And Netherrealm is literally on fire all the time. So I think there's
yeah.
you can make something out of yourself out of Outworld. Outworld has its heroes. It's not necessarily an evil place, only because Shao Kahn is a jerk, but it could be fine. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's like the Wild
Eh,
West on steroids. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Just don't mess with the wrong person, and you're
Just don't
fine.
bother the wrong to call it or
It,
our Goro may show up.
Meanwhile, everybody's terrible in another realm.
Not a fun place. You know, immediately you're put to work. Throw you a shovel. Get to work, scab. I don't want to work. The next thing you know, meat comes out and hits you with his big club. You know, freaking, you got to deal with that kind of nonsense. We're about
So
at that time. Oh yes, yes, yes.
we are, and I guess my question is what do we do with Quan Chi? Like, what do we do with him then? If he's just going to be
Fly in the
the
ointment.
I don't even know what you call it. Like the gatekeeper of the
He's not
nether
even
realm.
that. He doesn't even care. I
Ah,
don't know what
we're
I don't.
scheming.
Meh, meh.
We're scheming.
I'm gonna make a weather machine that's gonna black out the earth if you don't follow my demands. Well, what do you want, bro? I haven't decided. Like, what are you talking about, Quan Chi? Quan Chi is absolutely like the Skeletor of this whole fucking situation. Like, he's just gonna be nefarious and do dumb stuff that helps no one, not even himself.
Yeah. All right. Fair
So
enough.
what do you do with him? You just lock him up. You throw him in Arkham, Doug. Like, he's the Joker. Well, he's like a dog chasing cars. He doesn't know what he'll do if he actually caught one, right?
It's like he's in the nether realm for a reason. You know what
Keep that
I
motherfucker there,
mean?
Don't
Like,
release him. He doesn't get
yeah.
second chances. Even like Shang-Chi was reborn in Liu Kang's universe, right? He didn't resurrect Quan Chi. Hell no.
Nah.
Keep him out, keep his ass up wherever he's at. You know what I mean? Keep him where he's at because he's just trouble. He doesn't want to help anything. He's just a mer. It's whack, though. It's time to rank this bad boy in the grand scheme of things. Thinking of all of Mortal Kombat, all the games, all the books, all the movies, from a score of 0 to 5. Titty bubblies. What are you scoring the Nether Realm in as an object of lore within Mortal Kombat?
what, what is our
It's
score?
0 to 5. Titty
I,
bubblies.
I can't
You know what
even.
that is, right? You know what that is, right?
No, I'm not even understanding what you're saying. I'm
That's what
really.
that's what Raiden says when he does the little push thing at you. When he does the
Oh,
he goes titty bubbly.
oh, yeah. Never had no idea. No.
Go back, play
Nope.
Mortal Kombat 1 tonight. He will say it. You listen hard. He's gonna go titty bubbly. He flies
That's
at you, dog.
that's just the double tap and like A, and then
Yeah,
he
back
goes, yeah,
forward square.
back
Titty
forward,
bubbly.
back square. There you go.
Yeah, there
All
you
right,
go.
there you go. So my lore power ranking is going to change
Mm,
based on our conversation.
mm,
Ooh,
mm,
damn.
mm, mm.
I am going to.
Uh-oh.
This is rough
Uh-oh.
because the nether realm is so important. You can't have a car without a battery. You know what I
Nope.
mean?
You ain't going
You
nowhere.
can't you can't necessarily like run this remote control without a battery. Like, so you need a battery, but how efficient usage is this battery? And I guess efficient usage is not necessarily the question here. It is,
No.
what is the lower power ranking
The lore implications of if you were to
of
remove this from Mortal Kombat storyline,
yes.
how much damage would it do to the core of
I'm
the
glad you
series?
I'm glad you said that because I wrote that down early in our talk. If we remove Netherrealm, would Mortal Kombat still exist? Yes.
Mm, would it?
Yes. 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 Because it's about the realms. It's about the
Okay.
realms. It's about Earthrealm. No one Raiden didn't go to the Elder Gods and go, yeah, man, like I'm trying to protect the Netherrealm. He's like, no, we're gonna have a tournament 10, and Netherrealm isn't even part of it. It's mostly the three that or the two that want to take over. So that being said, and it's been a rough one. Here's what I'm gonna do because I
Okay.
can't push it up to a 4. I can't push it up to a 4.
Mm,
I'm gonna push it to a 3.5.
wow.
3.5 out of 5 on a
Wow.
lower ranking. And I
I Wow. Okay.
Like
Not that
like
important. Not that
it,
important. Not crazy important.
if you take it out, and again, Scorpion plays a big role, but this is not a Scorpion discussion. This is a Netherrealm discussion. If we talked about Scorpion's importance to Mortal Kombat, completely different subject. So, if you take out Netherrealm from all of the Mortal Kombat games right now,
I don't know, man. But I'm holding my peace. I'm
you
holding my
wouldn't
peace.
have a Revenant War,
No,
but
you
you'd
wouldn't have a
still have
Soul
Mortal
NATO.
Kombat. You'd still have a Mortal Kombat. You still have a tournament. You'd
Oh,
still have a fight for the realms. There'd still be elder gods.
okay.
Everything would still be cruising around just as normal. There just wouldn't be that room that no one wants to go into. So that is my final, yeah, 3.5
3.5
out of
out of
5.
5. All right. Mark it down, bitches. Uh Netherrealm, right? Its importance in the lore where it fits. Now, I'm thinking a little differently. I'm thinking in all of Mortal Kombat, where does Netherrealm fit? It is super important, but has nothing that it's super important to the world, not important to the plot. I think is kind of where we're at. Where what's going on? You're having a tournament, you know, Earthrealmers. The story, the meat of the story is really about outer world, Outworld, Earthrealm. Boom, 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 Mortal Kombat, right? Netherrealm has really nothing to do with that, mind you. Now we're talking Mortal Kombat's 1 and 2, kind of. It's when you get to Mortal Kombat 3 and 4 and Deadly Alliance and Armageddon, it's where Netherrealm starts to play a bigger role. In X and 11, especially in 1, it's where Netherrealm starts to be the crux of why everyone's doing everything. Why was there a Mortal Kombat tournament? Why is Outworld so hung up on Earthrealm? Because you have Shinnok in Shao Kahn's ear. More deaths means more power to Earth to Netherrealm means more energy for Shinnok to be the ultimate grand. I want to kill all the, you know, uh, elder gods. This fuels my ambitions. I'm setting down this domino track. So I called Netherrealm Arrakis, right?
Hmm.
It's literally called Dune because of not the politics, not the Paul Atreides, because of Arrakis and how important it is to the entire thing of Dune. Whereas it's called NetherRealm Studios. Literally, the logo is Scorpion, but with NetherRealm behind him with the chain. That's our entire business model is NetherRealm, right? You don't have your Sonic the Hedgehog without NetherRealm. You don't have your Mario without NetherRealm. You don't have your keynote speaker without the influence of this particular realm. That being said, can Mortal Kombat run without it? Yes, but it would be a lemon. It wouldn't go far without it. It'll be just another video game. It'll be fighters in a tournament that we've seen 100 times. NetherRealm fuels the magic sorcery in the mysticism of Mortal Kombat. It all comes from
Okay.
NetherRealm because you have Earthrealm, which are a bunch of just dudes, right? Who know kung fu for the most part. You have Outworld, which is a little bit more on the mysticism side, but all that power is being fueled by NetherRealm energy.
But do still have the elder gods. You do still
Yeah,
have power outside. So I do like what you're saying. That is a very interesting concept. I do like
yeah,
that.
I do, but it's not the only power out there. Chronica has nothing to do with NetherRealm, right? And Chronica is damn near a titan. Her power comes from chronological energy. It's a whole different source of power. Johnny Cage apparently comes from the older realm has its own sense of energy. The older realm does not run on NetherRealm because it's the antithesis of what they're doing over there. It runs on its own heavenly energy. So, can Mortal Kombat happen without NetherRealm? Yes, but would it still be NetherRealm? Can Mortal Kombat happen without Netherrealm? Yes. But can Mortal Kombat be good without Netherrealm? I say no. I think Netherrealm is the battery in its back that makes it so interesting, spits out so many interesting characters, actually makes it a story. I think Mortal Kombat's storyline is better than Street Fighter's. Fight me. I think it has more. I think more things are going on that are interesting, and it's more of a straight line for how convoluted this is. All that being said, rating it from a 0 to a 5, Titty Bubble Lays. I know you hate that. It's fine. It's fine. It's what he says, bro. I
All
don't,
right.
Anyway, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, just to be. It's not the end all be all. You made some very good points where the things still happen, right? Liu Kang still fights. Shang Tsung still wins Mortal Kombat. Outworld still wants to take over. Mortal Kombat 2 still happens. But you're missing Scorpion. You're missing Quan Chi. You're missing so many good things. You're missing the reason why anybody's fighting. The
If
real
the
reason why the bad
elder
guys are fighting.
if the elder gods had banished Shinnok the Earthrealm, would he have done the same thing in Earthrealm? You know what I mean? And I guess
I don't
that's
think
kind
so. Because there's no energy in Earthrealm.
of
They want Earthrealm for sheer land. That's why Shao Kahn was like, I'm taking over Earthrealm because I want to expand. He was a conqueror. I want to
yeah,
expand my reach.
empire of this empire.
Yeah. I've conquered Outworld 8 ways from Sunday. This is my land. You know, Earthrealm where they're free and there's birds and stuff. No, forget all that. We're making it just like Outworld. I want it. Shinnok's like, yeah, you want that. You want to kill everybody over there. You want to just take them out. You want to fuel my soul NATO so I can do empower the Kamidogu. So it's like, yeah, you kind of need the Netherrealm influence for the Mortal Kombat engine to go anywhere. Can it go? Can it get you? It's like what Mortal Kombat is without the Netherrealm. Mortal Kombat is a car on E. It's not going to go out on you immediately. It'll get you down the street, but you're not getting to Vegas, man. You're not getting to the promised land without it. 4 out of 5. You'll get somewhere. You'll make a product, but is it going to land the test of time? Is it going to be 30 years of Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat? I don't think so. It's just and it's untouched. That's what makes it so cool. It's one of the final mysteries of Mortal Kombat, right? We know
that
everything
is
about Earthrealm,
that is
everything
all
about
very
Outworld.
true. Yes.
It's the
And
final frontier of Mortal Kombat.
the company naming the company after it or that with it, you know what I mean? That also states how they feel about it. So I
I
hadn't
would
really
think
considered
so.
that within my thought process when I go with the whole Scorpion thing. I'm like, yeah, that's marketing. He's a super popular character.
Uh,
But you can't take away NetherRealm Studios. You know what I mean? There was NetherRealm Studios before there was Mortal Kombat. So
yeah,
like
it's got to be
the
kind of important to them dudes. If like, yeah, we're
yeah,
gonna name my entire livelihood on this concept, you know?
super interesting, but I got to tell you, if that is the case, I do think it's area that needs to be explored more, and maybe that's what we'll get in the forthcoming games. But when you look at just the plethora of information that is out there, we spend scant little time actually in the nether realm
Yeah,
doing anything,
I
and
got I
it's a
got
lot of
something for you.
space. Hmm.
What if that's by design?
What
What
if
if they want to keep it mysterious? What if they want to keep it? What's really going on in the Netherrealm? I mean, in Mortal Kombat, what was it? At 11, they literally were in Netherrealm, crossing the Soul River
Yes,
to the spot, and we don't learn anything.
nothing.
We know where there's a toll guy. There's the collector. I think he's another realm dude. And you're in Netherrealm long enough to
And he's
get
like, I can't fight a battle.
yeah.
And I
What do you
was
want from
like,
me? I can't fight the battle. I can't win a war for you.
do you have to say this often? That's what I was
Yeah.
like. I was like, do people just come down here and they're like, oh, now we fight?
Now
Like,
we
yeah,
fight.
bro.
Yeah, get out
Like,
my house. Nobody
I,
invited you.
this is just the boat across.
Yeah, we're just trying to get from point A to point B. There's literally a soul ocean
Yeah.
under us, you know? So it's like, yeah, maybe it's by design. Maybe they don't want us knowing so much about Netherrealm. Keep it mysterious. Even in those games, you don't really get like, the agriculture, the flora and fauna of Nether. It's like, no, we got to get up out of here. Why are we here? We have to get in and get out as soon as we can. Yeah.
And I'm gonna give credit to the Nerdiverse and to us because when you're gonna see a ton of Mortal Kombat coverage this week, folks, with the
Yep.
with the new release coming
Like the
out.
movie.
There are gonna be scant few channels actually covering just
This.
the Netherrealm.
This. This is why
Just
you come to
this.
MOTN. This is
Yeah.
why lore is here, because this is
Yeah.
important stuff that no one else is going to do a deep dive on. I promise you this weekend. I promise you this week, because that's why we do it. And if you were to average a 3.5 and a 4, what is that? Like a 3.7?
3.5.
3.5, we take those. 3.5
3.5.
out of 5, that's where Netherrealm lands on the lore meter, the loreathon. You know what I'm saying? Any final thoughts, Watch, before we close out this amazing lore?
An absolutely fantastic conversation. Great lore. Super deep. I it's something that you want more time with. The
Hmm.
only thing is that it kind of repeats itself. So I do hope
That's
in the coming iterations of whatever Mortal Kombat we're going to be getting, and I think it's been a minute since we actually got a game.
hmm
I hope that we further explore the Netherrealm because I think that there's good stuff there. And
yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh man, with that, yes, more lore on our Netherrealm. You hear that, studios? Make a Souls like with just you being in Netherrealm all day, and we can create our own champion of Netherrealm. Because you kept saying there's no champion. I'm like, there's got to be a champion, right? I can't think of like a legit, like Liu Kang is the champion of Earthrealm, right? Like Shao Kahn is the champion of Outworld, right? Havoc is the champion of Chaos World. I mean, Katana is the champion of
Katana, yeah,
Edenia.
yeah.
So each realm has their own respective champions. I mean, but go back to my point. To be a champion of something, you have to want to defend it. Nobody wants that stuff. Yeah. I'm not moving to Antarctica. What do you mean if I become champion, I gotta live here? No, I'm
Mhm.
good. Champion of, you know,
You
so
make a valid point.
yeah, nobody
I
wants to
hear where
be
you're
in Nether. Like
going.
you said, the second you're there, you're like, crap, I'm here. There is no glory. There's no glory to be taken in Netherrealm, bro.
No.
It's very fascinating. With that, if you like this content, please remember to like this content. We're growing the channel. I'm sure we'll get some great clips out of this on YouTube. Put these up wherever you're listening to this episode. Please subscribe to our channel so that you're made aware when new content goes live. And comment, are we completely left of center with our assessment of Netherrealm? Is it the most important thing in the world? Is it not important at all? Comment, let us know. Let us know your thoughts. With that being said, I'm of course your host, Mike G. He's, of course, Master of the Nerdiverse Wash, and we are the Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast. And with that, I will say MOTN out. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen.